righty. Holy cow. I feel like it's been forever. Hello, everyone. Welcome for downloading The Retro Gamers. Larry here.
And Anthony over here.
Oh, yeah. How you doing, Ant?
Doing all right. How you doing?
Doing good. It's been a little while since we chatted.
Yeah. Was I still in New York the last time we chatted?
Possibly. So that was a long time ago at this point.
Many moons.
And, again, we're coming on here, trust me, we know our topic is a little antiquated, but a lot of times what's old could be new again.
Always. I mean, why not? I mean, the whole point of us being retro gamers is the fact that we like old stuff.
Yeah, pretty much. And old is still becoming new. Like, just mentioning it, new Zelda game coming out. For the Wii U, Crash Bandicoot's actually making a return to Skyrim, of all places, not even his own game. But,
wow.
Yeah. So, the classics are still out there, and people still want them, but it's really the classics that it's all about. And we actually, right before we started recording, we were talking about what really constitutes a classic or a retro game or even a retro console. And what were your thoughts on what you feel what's considered a retro console?
All right, so for me, a retro console is, and I mean, I think it's still to me like 64-bit and younger, or I should say older. I'm sorry, 64-bit and older is the way, not younger. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I feel like once we really went to the disc era, like PlayStation 2 and beyond, I think like to me, even though the graphics may be more. Maybe more enhanced over the course of like PlayStation 3, Xbox One, and all that stuff. Mm. Like I feel like the gaming itself hasn't changed as much.
Okay.
So that's what makes me still feel like we're in that era. Whereas to me, like anything older, like N64 and older, to me it felt like it was a different gaming, like just a different way of playing. Mm-hmm. So I don't feel like the PlayStation 2, Xbox versions have really moved into that category yet.
Okay.
But again, this, I mean, I think it's ultimately, an opinion thing.
I was going to say,
like, where do you stand on
one man's opinion? I kind of feel, I was mentioning before, I kind of feel that because the graphical difference between even going up to Xbox One, the first Xbox, and PS2, when they jumped to Xbox 360 and PS3, there's still a graphical difference. Like polygon kind of got smoothed out and everything with 360 and PS3. But when it went from 3 to 4 or Xbox 360 to Xbox One, all right, yeah, it got a little bit crisper, but it wasn't a major difference between those two consoles. So to me, I feel like retro would go to Xbox One and PS2 because that was the last time we saw, in my opinion, a graphical difference between the old system and the next system coming in.
And of course, when you say Xbox One, you mean the original Xbox.
I keep saying Xbox One? Yeah, that's why I mean the original.
I keep saying Xbox One. Yeah, Xbox One is the
first
latest,
Xbox.
So try and keep up with me.
I'm going to try to. Actually, Xbox One is no longer the latest, but that's besides the point.
That's very true. Now it's just, there's something new. Yeah.
VR. Everything's going VR.
Everything's going
virtual
VR.
reality. There was a retro.
Nintendo tried that many years ago with a retro console
called
Virtual Boy.
I'm gonna,
doesn't work out so well.
I'm gonna stand with the Virtual Boy. I don't care what anyone says. It was a great concept. It had some good games. All right, only 18 of them or something like that. But it was still a great concept because, the guy got canned for it, and the man invented the Game Boy. He so happened to invent the Virtual Boy, so he could not fall back on his prior success.
Well, that's okay because then you had the Game Boy Advance and so on. So I mean,
actually, I was just at
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, speaking of the Game Boy, when was it? I went day before Memorial Day, Sunday. I went to the city because Nintendo World they redid it, they revamped it. So, and I had a train ticket that was going to expire anyway. So I head out to the city, just walking around. I went to Nintendo World where I got my pretty cool Duck Hunt T-shirt. Really good. I mean, I only been there once before, but it was just kind of nice. Had a lot of cool stuff in there. But they had a whole setup of Game Boys from even to the Game & Watches all the way up to present day. And it was just really
cool.
interesting. I have a video on my YouTube, on my Facebook. Did I put it on YouTube? I don't remember. Of all the different Game Boys and just the history of them. And I think I pretty much hit each one of them when they all came out. So, but it was pretty cool.
That's
Game
really
Boy.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like for me, I've always like handheld has never worked out for me. I don't know what it was. Maybe it's because I've had bad eyesight since I was a kid, and I just can't stand the concept of playing a video game on such a tiny screen.
Could be. True.
In fact, I think the only handheld system I ever personally purchased was a Game Gear. And the reason why I bought the Game Gear is because they had X-Men games that weren't on the Genesis at the time. So, and they were pretty damn good. But like honestly, like handheld games I never played until I started maybe downloading some of them on either on the Wii or the Wii U, or getting them on GameCube when they were when they started like making them on there.
I was gonna say, did you ever own the Super Game Boy or even that Super Game Boy Advance?
Nope.
Oh no, you never had them? All right.
No, I never had any like I said, except for Game Gear, which I had for a brief period of time, and I have an original Game Boy somewhere that I barely ever played, only because somebody gave it to me. I didn't even buy it. But handhelds were always lost on me. I just couldn't rack my brain with why would I want to play a video game on a tiny little screen when I have a big TV?
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like when the Super Game Boy came out for the Super Nintendo, where you can play the Game Boy games on the TV, that never interested you or anything like that?
No, because for me, it always felt like the games weren't like, or especially when you go back to the original Game Boy, where like it wasn't even in color. It always felt a little inferior to an actual like Nintendo game or Super Nintendo game, and especially when 16-bit came along, and you saw how awesome like the Genesis and Super Nintendo games were. For me, like even at that point, like I felt Game Boy was a little old hat. Not saying it was a bad system or anything like
just
that.
Not your choice.
Just kind of wasn't working for me.
No, fair enough. I love the Game Boys. During the summers, me and my family would go like to the beach club and everything. So obviously we didn't have the system, so I got used to the Game Boys. My friends down there had the Game Boys, so we were linking them up. So I think out of almost necessity, I became a real big fan of the Game Boy, and I think I own every iteration except for a couple of the DSs recently. So, but yeah, that's again, but. Like you mentioned, have you downloaded any of them on the Wii U console? Any of the Game Boy or Game Boy Advance games? Or even DS games now you can download on it?
I think I did. And I haven't played them yet because life has been a little busy lately. But I started downloading the Zelda games because I know, like, if there's one thing I know I missed out on handheld, it would be the Zelda games. And I'm pretty much a big Zelda fanatic.
Yeah.
So to skip out on any games that are similar to A Link to the Past, because a lot of the graphics I see from those are kind of follow that format, like Minish Cap.
Minish Cap, I recommend. That game was fantastic.
Everybody tells me Minish Cap is amazing. So it's like all of those games now that I can download them on a Wii U console and play them on my big screen. It's like I'm all in for those.
That's cool.
Have to find a little bit of time to do it.
They even they're starting to bring in the some of the Castlevania Game Boy Advance games. Those are really good because they play like. Not as good. Nothing's as good as Symphony of the Night, but they play like Symphony of the Night. So definitely try and check those out when you get a chance.
Yeah, Symphony of the Night was probably one of my favorite games.
They just I know we've had a conversation before of having the original games with the original consoles versus playing the virtual consoles, but with the backward compatibility of the Xbox One. Symphony of the Night on 360 became available on one, and awesome. And I started picking it up again a little bit. And what's cool about it now on Xbox One, I can actually try and broadcast it onto Twitch or YouTube or something like that. But be that as it may, I've been getting into Symphony of the Night again, and you forget, which is good in my opinion. You forget how good it is, and it's almost you forget how to play it, which gives you that nostalgic feel of when you first started playing the game and you had no idea how to play it.
Yeah, which is great. It's like that's with any retro game, though. It's like if you let enough time go by without playing it, when you get back in, it's like it's familiar to you because you remember playing it, but you don't remember all the
exactly.
pieces. It's like when I go back and play the original Legend of Zelda, I can fly through that like first quest in under an hour because I've played it so many times. But get me to sit down and play the second quest, which I probably beat maybe twice. And, there's so much time in between. It's like I forget it all and I got to do it all over again.
I don't think I've ever actually played the second quest.
Second quest is awesome.
Not even with the code. I don't know why. Just never. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go on record. I don't think I've ever beat Zelda, now that I think about it. I think I've gotten that far into it, but I just never got enough to beat Ganon or get that far.
I would say that surprises me, but I remember us having a conversation years ago about video games and how you said that, like, almost all the video games you've ever purchased, you've never beat.
Oh, yeah, no, my beating ratio is very, very low. So, not that it's saying that I never had fun with the games. I think my attention span to it never let me really stay with the game, because as soon as I get a new one, the old one went to the wayside. So, no matter how good it was.
Right, and for me, it's like as soon as I buy a game, it's like I don't care what I got to do, come hell or high water, I want to beat it.
Yeah,
of course, now I'm slowly I've definitely become more like you, where I buy games with the intent to play them.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it's hard for me to find the time to actually do it. In fact, I just started 3 months ago Batman Arkham Asylum.
Oh, really?
Right.
And they're re-releasing them, too.
Yeah, I bought that one in Arkham City because I'm like, all right, I'm going to play these because everybody talked about how great they are. I'm like, I played Arkham Asylum. I think I sat down twice and played it. And that was honestly the last time I played my console. And it was on my 360. I bought an Xbox One in March for work reasons, actually. And all the game, I have 3 games. One is shrink wrapped. One is a free download I haven't downloaded yet. And the other one I opened, and it's sitting inside the console, and I haven't played it.
Well, that's the same. I bought an Xbox One for really that rare retro, the rare replay, the 30.
Yeah, that's the one that I have shrink wrapped.
Oh, and it's only because of Battletoads. That was the only reason. I think I played Battletoads twice.
You mean the most impossible game in the world?
Oh, please, don't even get me started. And then I stopped playing the system up until recently when I started playing The Division, which for newer games is absolutely fantastic. That's the first game in a long time where like I'm trying to beat it. But my I'm trying to, even as we speak, I can probably count on my hand on just a few games. I did, but I think the last time on like Super Nintendo where I was like that, where I bought the game and I was hell bent on finishing it, was probably Link to the Past, and then on N64 actually would have been Ocarina of Time.
Yes, both worth the work too.
Oh, totally.
Those games are amazing.
Totally.
Well, maybe our next topic of discussion can be games that we actually have beaten.
Yeah, honestly, you're right. Well, that's gonna be a short one because.
Well, for you maybe.
Well, here, real quick, what's the first game you ever beat?
First game I ever beat was Super Mario Brothers.
Oh, okay. Mine was Contra.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'm sure it was with the Konami code, no doubt.
Yeah, I was going to say with the code.
That's all right. I was 8, I think. Maybe 10.
No, I think the first game I ever beat was Super Mario Brothers. Followed by, well, actually, no. Am I lying? I may be lying because the first system I actually had was an Atari 2600.
Ooh.
But
games ever really beatable? I mean, there's only a few.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, there were very few games on there you actually beat. Like, I think the only ones I can think of that actually you could beat were like Adventure or Haunted House, which were like considered the first RPGs in a way.
Or even E.T.
Or E.T., which I never beat and never understood and never will. But if you watch a YouTube video, you can beat the game in about 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah, totally. I have the cartridge. It's sitting there, but I don't have a system for it. But I think I remember
I have 2 copies.
Do you really?
Yeah,
Nice.
I have 2 copies somewhere. But... Yeah, so actually now that I think about it, then Atari 2600, I didn't beat anything because I know for a fact I never beat Adventure or Haunted House, so I'll stick with Super Mario Brothers as my first game that I beat.
Fair enough, no problem. Good one and a best one. Have you been playing Mario Maker?
I haven't even purchased Mario Maker
I thought
yet.
you did. Oh,
no, I wanted to buy it.
Yeah.
Haven't had time.
All right.
I just...
Because that's got a good feel too. I mean, it's people. It's almost like homebrews. They're all homebrew games, legally allowed by Nintendo. But it definitely has that real old school feel on a lot of the levels that are.
Well, and
endless.
that's what I like. It's like that's the amazing thing about Nintendo. It's like they realized a bit of a market for retro gamers now. Now that we're in it, we've gotten to the point where the Nintendo generation, they're all grown up. They're all, either, getting married or having kids, or they've been following the consoles all the way through the years. They're recognizing that, and they're trying to, keep that consumer by trying to go back into the well. I mean, they're notorious for it. That's why, in terms of video game history, they have more they have more franchises that are evergreen than any other system. And granted, they've been around a little bit longer, longer than everybody else. But still, the fact that everybody every gamer knows, like, Super Mario Bros. Has been around for over 30 years. Legend of Zelda's been around for 30 years. Mega Man. I mean, there are so many systems, so many.
And just the console itself. That design.
Yeah.
The controller.
They keep it simple and straightforward. It's like, they make games for gamers.
Oh, totally.
And the fact that they continue to appeal to the retro gamers, I think is just, is amazing. Unfortunately, I don't know what's going on with their business model, because Wii U wasn't exactly the most successful system for them.
It's not stopping them from making a new one.
No, and didn't they announce the new one at E3?
They don't have like an actual stage show like they used to. So I haven't read anything specifically about it. I think it's called NX or something like that. Oh, at least the whatever title.
Yeah, I heard about that. I thought they gave it. Maybe they gave it an official title. I don't know. E3's still ending today.
Well, they certainly didn't debut the console or anything like that. There may just be some talk about it. The biggest thing they talked about was the new Legend of Zelda, which I gotta say, just real quick to bring it up to modern times. The new Zelda name, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, I don't know, something about that name I find just one of the...
Pornographic?
No, I was going to say one of the better titles for a Zelda game. Just going on title alone, not gameplay. Like Majora's Mask...
To me,
come on.
Breath of the Wild. What does wild breath mean to people?
Because in Twilight Princess, he was a wolf or something, right? So now it's an open world, and if you have the amiibo from Twilight Princess, you can bring Wolf Link into Breath of the Wild, and he's almost like a second player. But I don't know
if I want anybody wild breathing on me. So,
well, I thought it was artsy, so whatever.
Of course you did.
If I don't know if anyone's aware, let's pull the curtain back a little bit. I'm here in New York. You're in California.
I am.
Even as we speak. Have you seen any like retro conventions or anything in your area? I got one out here coming up in August.
No, to be honest with you, I haven't, but I need to start looking for them. Right now, I've been looking for more retro stores.
What was the name of that store where you used to live?
Game Dude.
That place was packed.
Game Dude is by far like the best retro store I've ever been to. It's amazing. It's a Costco for retro games, basically.
It was just as big as a Costco. When I say packed, not with customers, there were people there, but jam-packed with games.
Yeah, I mean, and they literally have every system going back. Yahtzee.
They were one of the few system places where I found that Sega CDX, the hybrid Genesis and Sega CD, which I'm still wish I owned to this day, but I just never did.
Do you remember how much it was going for?
Originally or then?
No, at Game Dude.
Oh. Yeah, like maybe $300 or something, I think.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm always marveled by the Neo Geo system.
Neo Geo. They were like $1,000 brand new back then.
Yeah,
and the games,
$250 for the
honestly,
games. It was insane. It was absolutely insane. It was like, who would have bought that? I'm still lamenting the fact that I never owned a Sega Saturn, just for the fact that I didn't get a chance to play Shining Force 3.
As soon as you said Saturn, that was the game that popped in my head. That is the quintessential role-playing game, supposedly, of all time. And Shining Force 1, in my opinion, of games I've played, is the best RPG I've played. I loved it.
Yeah, no, there's no question about it.
And I beat it. I've beaten it.
Yo, you beat it?
I did beat Shining Force. The original one, too. And the remake, but be that as it may.
I also beat the first one, and then I think I got like 3/4 of the way through the second one, and then my save it crashed. My save disappeared, and I've restarted it many times, but never actually went all the way and finished it. In fact, I think I have it on Xbox 360. There's that Sega Classics.
I was going to say
collection.
there was a compilation,
Yeah.
which I have on PS3 that has it.
Yeah, so I have it there. It's waiting for me, and I'll get back to it eventually. To me, it was the only RPG that like allowed you to control like 12 people in battle.
That's
So
what I
felt
loved about it.
It felt like you actually were commanding a little bit like a mini army.
Yes.
Whereas every other system, it's like, oh, you have to pick 3 guys, and the other people have to sit out. And I'm like, well, I want to play all of them.
No, you're exactly right. That turn base of the I love, and that's when Final Fantasy. Oh, what the hell was the name of that? That had the same gameplay.
Tactics?
Yes, that when that came out, I started playing that. I mean, Final Fantasy is good and all, but well, I mean, it's a great.
I never
series.
played Tactics,
but I enjoyed Tactics a lot because it played like Shining Force.
I have a feeling I might be playing Shining Force 2 tonight now. I might as well take advantage of it while I actually have a free evening.
I wonder. I think that that compilation disc may have also had Shining in the Darkness, which was the Game Gear version. No,
Yes,
no,
no,
wasn't the
it
Game
was
Gear
the
version.
original.
Yes, you're right. It was before Shining Force.
Right, and
Yeah.
I remember trying it, but I didn't find it very appealing only because it was like it was first person.
It was text based.
Yeah, it was
kind of,
first person
yeah.
text based, and you were going through like a maze at least to start. And I was never fond of those types of games.
I didn't mind those.
So,
it depends on what it is.
Right, but Shining Force 1 just like
Yeah, it was-
literally blew my mind. In fact, I actually have it on Genesis. I still have the
Oh yeah,
I have it with the box, and then I also have Shining Force 2, just the cartridge.
there you go.
Yeah, games I love, I have no problem like spending money and having to buy the originals.
You know what it was that I actually downloaded Virtual Console. There was a Game Gear Shining Force. I forgot the name of it. That I downloaded on the 3DS. I started playing, but now I'll probably play that before I go to sleep.
And you know what you need to download? You need to download the Legend of Zelda games that were on CDI.
No, I no. Oh my god, what were the names of those? Those were the.
Oh god, I don't even want to know.
But it is
They were worse than the cartoon.
There were 2 of them. It's a cartoon. What? What do you? Excuse me, or something like that. What did you used to say?
Excuse me, Prince.
That's what it was. Yes. Poor Captain Lou running around.
I worked for the company that made that. What a shit.
I have it on DVD somewhere.
I know, I gave it to you. The company I work
yeah,
for.
that's true. Thank you, Deke. The Zelda. It's funny how CDI is the only system that actually had a true Zelda game starring Zelda.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's really weird, right?
Oh my god! And they made
Although
some.
Zelda, Zelda made her way over to like Super Smash Brothers. Eventually.
Well, yeah, but
it wasn't her own game.
It's almost like Nintendo signed the deal with CDI. Who was that? Philips or no? It was Sony. No, who was it? Well, whoever made CDI. Nintendo franchised out their characters because they also did Mario, a few Mario games on that. But almost like Nintendo went, you know what, we're going to purposely give them crappy games so that way they don't get better than our home games. Because there was a Mario Hotel game that is just god-awful, horrible. It's even hard to describe.
Oh, I remember that game.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember hearing about that game.
And I never played these games. I'm gonna be honest with you. I saw these games watching. I'll give him a shout out. The Angry Video Game Nerd. He did a series with the CDI and these horrible Mario.
Love
and Zelda
that guy.
games.
Super entertaining.
He's the best. But yeah, no CDI. I'm trying to think what the most obscure system I owned.
Most obscure.
Well, obscure meaning like not the top brands. Not Sony, Nintendo, or Sega.
Yeah, like a third-party system.
I guess.
I think I always stuck to the.
Yeah,
I always stuck to the regulars.
I never had a TurboGrafx.
I never strayed.
Never had a TurboGrafx.
The oddest one I could probably, well, not the oddest one, but the strangest one I could probably think of would have been the Dreamcast, but that wasn't really strange. It just died quickly, which was a shame because it was actually a great system.
That game got me through a few nights in college because of some of the games that were on there. So that was pretty
Resident
sweet.
Evil Code Veronica I played on that and I loved it. And Nemesis.
Yes.
Resident Evil 3.
Yes. What did I play? I played mostly like Crazy Taxi. It was more like the arcade-based games.
Simpsons Hit and Run.
Oh god, horrible game, but great.
That was actually the one WWF Royal Rumble, it was the first time you had 8 guys on a screen? Or was it 6?
6, probably 6.
First time you had 6 guys on a screen, and back then that was revolutionary.
Oh, yeah, forget about it. Anything's better than 4. So.
Exactly. Unfortunately, they've never gotten past 6.
No, I guess it...
No.
Oh, I thought one of them had 8. I don't know why. I could be wrong.
Don't remember any of them having 8. I mean, even friggin' WrestleFest only had 6.
That's a game they got to bring back, or at least bring it back with
download it. Yeah,
get the new character. You know, you want to put new guys in, go right ahead. But
well, they did remake it for your phone.
They did. Not the same, but kind of the same. So, but I'm just trying to think of as far.
How did we get to this? How do we get to this conversation?
This is the beauty of a podcast. Just let it run. We had something in the beginning, which I'm not going to remember anymore. That's right. We were talking about what makes a console retro.
Right, what makes a console retro, and we've gone all over. We've gone from super retro to Xbox One.
That's how that works, and we almost got a half hour of stuff. So that's the beauty of this whole thing.
People that are still listening to this.
There you go.
Yeah, they're having a blast.
We're getting some more people. You follow your followers will also hit as well. Be tweeting this out, my friend.
Yes. My increasing popularity will definitely help.
I still got an original Genesis in my closet, which I hooked up to my TV once, but it's difficult to hook up the old systems to new TVs.
Yes, it is.
And there's like half a millisecond of delay, which throws me off my game, literally speaking. So I can't even hook it up to my TV, but I got a perfectly good Genesis sitting in my closet.
Easy way to fix that problem. Go to Salvation Army and get a tube TV.
I've thought about it, trust me.
Yeah, I mean, I have going back to Atari, I have Atari 2600, NES, Super NES, Genesis. I have the original Sega CD hooked up to the Genesis.
Ooh, nice. Which one? Which design? The tray?
The design that where you had to put the whole Genesis on the left side of it.
Oh, okay. So not the one on top, where you put it on top.
Right, and the CD was on the right?
Yes. Okay, that's the one I had, yeah.
And I still have, like, Sewer Shark, Night Trap.
Night Trap. I didn't have
WWF Rage in the Cage.
Rage in the Cage. Come on now. I think Sewer Shark was a pack-in game. I think that came with the Sega CD.
It was a pack-in game, and it was the most annoying game in the world.
6, niner.
Although I will say, like, nothing beats playing the music video games.
Oh, CNC Music Factory?
It was CNC Music Factory, and then they had Crisscross.
Did they have Marky Mark as well?
They also had Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. Yes. They were terrible. They were terrible. Oh my God! You paid $50. You paid $50 for a game where literally they just ran 3 screens and you just chose which clips you wanted to put in.
I was going to say, how did they even play? Because I know a lot of the Sega CD games was more just like you hit a button at the right time. There was a
That's what those were. They basically gave you 3 screens. One screen was the original music video, and then the other 2 screens were just whatever footage they got rights to. And what would happen is you would press a button on the screen based on what footage you wanted in the video as the song was playing.
Yeah.
And so it was like you were editing together your own version of the music video, and then it would play back whatever you edited together for the music video. It was stupid. It was just stupid.
I was going to say, because it played, I think the one game I remember playing over and over again on Sega CD was, I think it was called Road Rash. It looked like an anime. And you had to hit the button at the right time, otherwise the car would just careem off like the side of the map or something.
You know which one I still have? I have the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Oh my God.
And that was the same thing. It was the first 5 episodes of the show. And basically you're watching the episode, but you just have to press the arrow when it shows up on the screen in time so the show would continue.
That game was much better on Super Nintendo.
Why do I own all the games for companies that I wound up working for? Is that weird?
Because you're a company man. You knew back then that eventually...
I was going to work for all these companies. I mean, really. And
would work for these
weird.
People.
I also have the Super Nintendo game of Power Rangers. And
that game rocked.
Well, the game rocked, but I remember the day I bought it, I was so happy because I ordered it at my local video store that I was working at the time because I was working, like a loser.
I forgot about that place.
Yeah. So, and I got 10% off for ordering it.
Whoa, there you go.
So, I got it for back then. That was awesome. I got it for $45 instead of $50.
Holy
cow! Probably like a week's pay for me at the time. Bring it home. I play it for like half an hour, and I beat the game, and that was it. And I'm like, what the fuck?
That's all right. Oh, that's too funny. But
and I played it over and over again.
The replay value, that's what it's all about.
Well, there really wasn't a replay value. I just wanted to get my money's worth.
So, yeah, other than that, I think that's pretty much about it. I'm planning on, I got The Division going on is really the only recent game I've been playing, but I got a lot of, actually I downloaded, which I started playing. Nintendo released on the Virtual Console the original Pokemon games, which I've never played before.
I've never played a Pokemon. Yeah. Well, that's not true. I've never played the original Pokemon games, but I played Stadium on N64, and those games are awesome.
Yeah,
those games are awesome. And Pokemon Snap, which was a very strangely entertaining game, and I don't know why. No, I remember feeling guilty for playing it because it was I found it so fun.
I've heard that because you just go around taking pictures.
You go around taking pictures, but for some odd reason, there's some crazy appeal to trying to get the right pictures. And...
Well, you used to do kind of photography. Well, you used to take pictures a lot back in the day. I remember. Not professional, but you know what I mean. Like when we used to go to the shows and everything.
Pictures, and now, of course, I'm into filmmaking.
Well, one better.
Pictures have always been my thing, but I have no idea why that one was appealing. In fact, it's very strange because if I look at my N64 collection, I think a quarter of my games are wrestling games, and then another quarter of my games are Pokemon games because I've got 2 Pokemon Stadiums, Pokemon Snap, and Pokemon Puzzle League.
Okay, Pokemon Puzzle League rules.
Which is also ridiculously addicting.
It's Tetris 2. That's what it is with a cover on it. So,
yep.
Pokemon Puzzle League, I can tell you right now, at college, in my dorm room, even when I'm not in the room, I'd be walking down the hall, and everyone would be in that room. For some reason, Pokemon Puzzle League was just the game to play in Earl Hall back from 1998 to about 2000. And you just walking down the hall, you just hear because you had to pick 3 Pokemon, and all it was best 3 out of 5. That's really what it was. But every time you cleared a line and everything, you hear Squirtle, Pikachu. They such.
Yep.
This probably explains why I really didn't have a girlfriend as much through college, but the game was fantastic. And
that's just one of the many reasons.
I had friends, so. But
you did. You had me, and that's also why I didn't have a girlfriend.
I meant at college.
I went to college.
Not my college.
No, not your. No, hell no. I went to too many colleges.
I went to one, and look where I'm at, and look what you're doing. So, who made the right choice?
Well, it's still up for debate.
But, so they released Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow. I ended up picking Blue, just 'cause it's my favorite color.
Okay.
And then I don't think Red and Blue weren't really much different, except probably for the Legend Pokemon or whatever, and Yellow was just a jazzed up version of the first 2. But I started playing it, and again, I've never played them before, but I can definitely see the appeal back then of just, trying to, catch them all. And even it holds up today, to be honest with you. I look at the new ones, and I'm like, but...
I don't know. To me, they always looked like a video game version of Tamagotchi.
Oh, they totally were. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, and that's what bugged me about it, because, I guess even back then, I didn't see the appeal of... I'm playing it... I have to play this video game, well, at least with Tamagotchi, it's I got to play this thing 24 hours a day just to make sure it stays alive. It was so weird to me.
It wasn't as
almost
much
wasn't Animal Crossing like that?
Animal Crossing is kind of like that, where it's playing 24/7. But also remember, was it Sonic Adventure or Sonic Adventure 2, where you downloaded the Tamagotchi type thing onto the Dreamcast memory card?
Oh, I don't remember which one it was.
Chocobo, what they call it? No, that's in Final Fantasy.
I don't remember what they called it, but I know what you're talking about.
But that was another thing that was like that. But Pokemon was just more, it seemed like it, but you just you capture them. You don't really have to worry about raising them too much. But it's just battle. That's all it is. Just battles, and that's pretty much about it. But it's strategy, and it's a pretty cool, fun game. Even for 2016. It's not too bad. For $10, you can't beat it. So.
No, very true.
Yeah, although I have way too many games that I need to play, so buying some now is definitely ill-advised. Unless I go back, I like to do retro shopping though. If I ever come across old video games, I have no problem, like at garage sales and stuff like that. I have no problem buying them all. Actually, I just bought on my computer. If we're talking about retro games, how about a retro PC game?
Retro PC game. I was never a big PC gamer.
Neither was I. Are we going on too long?
No, I was just giving you. Wow. Okay, I was just giving you a heads up.
That's okay.
It's just
that's okay. I know. Usually podcasts are I think 15 or 20 minutes, and we're just running our mouth.
No, that's fine. I'm the one with all the controls and the timer.
All right. Well, no problem.
Fourth wall destroyed. Okay.
Yes, because people who would listen to this don't realize. Anyway,
but
yeah, retro PC games. There were only a handful of games I really, really enjoyed, but I recently downloaded Theme Hospital, which was one of my favorites.
I remember.
Yeah, Theme Hospital was basically it was like The Sims in a hospital. So it's you built a hospital and you made sure the patients got taken care of, and when you built a good enough hospital, you moved on to the next stage. It's kind of like in that Roller Coaster Tycoon vein, but for hospitals. And it was actually super fun. And that also reminds me of probably one of my favorite PC games ever, Seventh Guest.
Oh yes, was that the one with the Scissor Man villain or something like that?
No, that was Clock Tower.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. Yes.
No, Seventh Guest was the one that it took place in a creepy mansion, and it was I think it was one of the first games to use full motion video.
Oh.
So you actually had cutscenes, so you would walk through this mansion and solve puzzles, and when you solved the puzzles, you would get a cutscene to find out what happened to the guests in this mansion.
Oh wow!
Because they all died. So it was a very cool, horror-based game. And in fact, they made a sequel called The 11th Hour, which wasn't very good. But then recently, a group of people, well, not recently, I want to say 10 years ago, a super fan of the original game wanted to make a sequel. He wanted to make a third game. So he started developing it for free in his spare time, and then slowly got more people involved, then actually reached out to the guys who created Seventh Guest, got them on board, and then they did a Kickstarter either earlier this year or late last year, raised all the money, and now they're coming out with their part 3.
There you go.
Yeah, so...
All right.
And I have actually purchased that, so I'm just...
Oh, did you? That's cool.
Oh, yeah, no, I would totally play that game.
So is it considered an official third sequel, or just a homebrew?
No, it will be considered an official sequel because
cool.
they got the rights from the actual company, and in fact, they even hired the original actor who played the villain in the first one.
Oh, there you go. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's actually really, again, retro game coming back just from, in this case, just from fans.
No, definitely. No, that's the beauty of Kickstarter, and it's another site, not Indiegogo, but there's another one specifically for video games. But be that as it may, that's really a big craze that's happening, and probably something that we can definitely dive into next time about all these homebrews and stuff like that. And
whole other conversation.
Yeah, right. And but otherwise, as far as systems, that's what I'm worried about. Now that the summer's here and a lot of flea markets out here on the island. And there are old games. Yeah, no, honestly. And even though I don't have the systems, I'll buy them just to display the cart. I have my ET. I don't have an Atari, but I have the ET cartridge. And the guy sold me for $2, and I wasn't going to tell him that it was probably worth more. But, I think that's what I'm going to be a little concerned about, because that's probably where all my money is going to end up going.
Yeah, well, you know what? I mean... There's nothing necessarily wrong with that as long as you enjoy it.
No, true, but I also don't have any room. I mean, look at this.
I've been to your place, and yes, you are out of room. I, on the other hand, have plenty of room.
There you go.
So I can load up at will.
Perfect. And so do you have it? So what's going to be next for you that you're going to play? I guess tonight you said you're going to play some Shining Force.
I have a feeling Shining Force 2 now is going in my system, so I'm going to pull out Arkham Asylum and once again go backwards. But you know what? Nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's my appeal will always be retro games, despite how cool newer games are. That's where my heart is.
Hey, listen, you just said it. Whatever works for you, right?
Yeah.
And,
of course, what I should be doing is I should be doing work, but
well,
you know.
that's for the rest of the days. That's what the weekend's for.
That's very true. The weekend when you panic,
Yeah,
get
right.
everything done by Monday.
So, and tonight I'll probably be either playing Pokemon or one of the other virtual games I may have on my whatever systems. So
Sounds like you sure you don't want to, you sure you don't want to play me in like WWE 2K16?
do you have it for PlayStation 4?
No, I have it for Xbox One.
Okay then.
Well, we'll have
Maybe
that
2K17 will work.
I was just gonna say for 2K17, you better buy it for the Xbox One.
Maybe I will. I've been using the Xbox a whole lot more, so
Well, you're gonna have to because I'm gonna make you.
fair enough. And with that, I think the Retro Gamers, we're back, and it looks like we're going to have a lot to talk about. And Anthony,
Yeah, about
thank you very
40
much.
minutes worth every time. Too.
Well, maybe, we'll see what the people have to say. But be that as it may, I'm Larry,
and I'm Anthony.
and thank you for joining us for the Retro Gamers, and we'll catch you all next time. See ya.
See ya.